Hi everybody. Hope everyone has been having a great day. My Chinese is really bad. I don't know any Chinese, so that's how bad it is. But I bring to you today the Indian market, and I thought, what's the best way to talk about India? Then share some stats about our market, how the consumers are behaving, and why it is the next venue where most of the American companies are going, most of the European companies are going, and where you, as a Chinese developer, should be looking at. So just to give a little perspective on the Indian market, and before you do that, I just want to talk about what I do. I'm founder of Tyroo. We are a native ad monetization solution for game developers and app developers. We have presence across the Asian markets, as you can see. We monetize inventories from as far in west in Saudi Arabia, in Egypt and United Arab Emirates, to markets like India, Indonesia, Thailand. We just recently started Korea and hope to be soon in China. So, driving engagement in the global epicenter of the global young. And why do we really call it the global young? Why don't I share talking about some stats out here? India, like China, has huge number of people, right? We are a 1 billion plus people market, and that's why it's exciting. But I guess the biggest difference between India and China is that India is 5 years behind China. So, while we are trying to catch up on the population, I think so we are now equi-sized in terms of number of people who live in India and who live in China. But in terms of our growth, in terms of the average age of our population, India is at least 5 years behind China. So all you people who have been working in the Chinese market over the last 5 or 7 years in the mobile gaming space, that's where India is, and that's where the opportunity is. So to give you some perspective in terms of numbers, India has around 170 million mobile internet users, and that's wow, that's mind-blowing. And trust me, this is less than 10% of people who have mobile handsets in India. So imagine a population around 900 million plus people in India are carrying mobile phone, out of which only 180 million or 170 million approximately have access to mobile or internet. And the good part about this is that this is the fastest growing segment in India, where more and more people, there was an interesting stats which one of the large telecom operator gave to me in the market. There are around 7 million new people getting added every month in India right now on mobile internet. Now that's the potential. Imagine population size of mobile internet users equivalent to a country like, I would say Thailand for that matter, which has around 10 or 13 million mobile internet users. Imagine that size of population getting averaged every 3 months. That's the opportunity which India presents. Another important stat is that 85% of people in India who use mobile internet today use it in English. They love English, they understand English. But when you talk about the mobile landscape, are they comfortable in English? Answer is no. So I met someone interesting from Vietnam, and he was telling me that people in Vietnam can talk in English, they can read in English, but do they play games in English? No. And that's why Chinese games are ahead. I guess same is with India. People like English, people can read English, but is that the preferred language? Answer is no. And again, like any other market, 3/4 of the market loves entertainment. People use mobile. So a lot of people even don't have televisions at home, but they have mobile phones now in their hands, right? So which means mobile phone is the primary device on which they consume internet. They watch their video. So Indians love their dancing, the singing. We love our Bollywood. We love our cricket. We again watch a lot of entertainment content on our mobile devices. So definitely, these are a few important stats for you to remember. Now, gaming, right? We all from the gaming industry. So I think so, while everyone knows that India, big population, so many people, good opportunity, but what's in for the gaming? I think so these are few interesting stats. I think so that's one to understand. In terms of the population, like I said, 950 million people, that's the number which gets quoted, have access to mobile phones. But there are only around 150 million mobile phone devices, smartphone devices, which exist in the market. I think so this is changing very, very fast. I think so the number, and this was a report from IDC, this year we are expecting this market to double. So imagine 150 million smartphone users market becoming 300 million. And that's the fast pace at which India is moving. Now, in terms of number of apps people are using, we are same like anyone else. On an average, there are around 50 to 51 apps installed on each smartphone user, which is in line with the global average. But what are the Indians doing? 1/3 of these apps are gaming apps. So that's what interests me, that's what exciting. And more people who are now coming onto the devices are actually installing more number of games as compared to anything else. So hey, good for us, right? Now, what are the challenges? While India is a good market, and as an app developer, I'm sure you must be thinking that, hey, my game is doing so good in China, I should start to do something about India, right? Why go to the US? Why go to Europe? We have such a big market next to us. Something's good, something bad. India is big on Android. We are more like Korea. We have like 97% Android market. iPhone is very small. Now, this is the bad part, right? Especially for a Chinese company, that the average monthly spend on internet by a consumer is less than $8. So, which means that it's half, there's another interesting stat which I saw in the GMGC's white book, and which one should read, is that in the Thailand market, on an average, a mobile internet user or mobile game player is actually spending $10 every month. And in India, people are only spending $8 on consuming internet. So that's the big difference between the Indian users, so not that great. Third, in terms of games, what kind of games people are playing? Indian like card games. We are not big in strategy. The reason being is that a lot of the people who started to do gaming are doing it for the first time on the mobile device. They never played it on the PC. They never played it on the console. They never had Ataris or any other kind of device. So for them, the first instance of games is, hey, they like casual games. But more importantly, the games which are actually gaining up, which are making money, are cards game. Why? Like Chinese, Indians like gambling. It's part of our culture. People like card games. There are national festival, which is called Diwali, which is a big thing in India, is all about gambling. So we actually do our prayers, we do our rituals, we sit down, and we gamble. So this is the importance of gambling in our culture. But more importantly, from a mobile perspective, I think so casual gaming is on a rise. It's growing at a very rapid pace. So if you ask people from Candy Crush, you ask any people, and they will say that everyone has 60 million plus people. So that is the kind of growth which we're seeing. From a distribution perspective, again, a challenge. We don't have a lot of third-party app store. So if you guys don't know how to work on Google Play, if you don't know how to work on Apple Store, then trust me, build up that skill fast, because you cannot win India just thinking that, hey, I can partner with the Bondiju, I can partner with the local Chinese app stores, and they're having users in India, and that will help. Trust me, that doesn't really work. So to give you some insight, and this will tell you what kind of games Indians are playing. These are a few of the games which are played mostly, or these are the top grossing apps as far as the Indian App Store is concerned. So as you can see, the leading game is a casino, is a gambling game. It's a 3-card poker kind of a variant called Teen Patti, which is an Indian variant of a card game, which is the highest grossing game. It's a venture-funded company. I think it's funded by Sequoia. So these guys are doing great. Followed by definitely the Western games, as you can see, Candy Crush, Subway Surfer, Raise the Traffic. So fundamentally, India is, again, as I said, very casual and a card game kind of a market. So I met a lot of Chinese developers who are doing a lot of casino games. Their games have started to make money in India, which is very surprising. Keep in mind, Indians don't like to pay for games. So if Chinese card games are getting some kind of success, or the casinos are getting some success, I think so it's an important insight to keep of track. And very important, Clash of Clans, right? Every market has Clash of Clans, a strategy game. It's doing good in India, it's growing, but an inside stat, they're only making around 250K a week, which is nothing as compared to all the other markets they're working in Asia. So if you have a game, now, it's great that, you like the stats the Indian market is throwing. You feel that you can crack the Indian market using a good casual game, or a good casino game, or a good card game. What do really work? How does distribution really work in Indian market? I think so very important to keep in mind when trying to promote your game in India or in Southeast Asia for that matter is that gaming is all about entertainment, right? Unlike China, where people love the strategy games, India, it's about interruption from work. That hey, I've got 5 minutes. Can I just go see what my score is? Can I just get some time off and just play a game or not? India is all about that as far as gaming is concerned. So if you're trying to build a game, you need to build an entertainment hype around it. So the biggest tool which a lot of game developers miss out when they're trying to promote games in India, trying to promote games in Southeast Asia is that like any good movie launch, you need to do a good trailer, which means you need to do a good video. So if you're trying to do a game launch for Indian market, trust me, first thing you should invest is in a good video. A video which is, hey, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, which really talks about your game, right? Which tells users that, hey, it's a great product, this is what we're going to be doing, play it, and this is the kind of rewards you can gain. It really entices users, and that's something really make perform. From a billing perspective, and I'll not talk about billing because it's very, very complex as for India is concerned, from a career billing point of view. The good part is that, if you're trying to promote on Google Play, or you're trying to promote an app store, credit card integrations is taken care of from an in-app purchase perspective, which means you need not to really struggle or you need not to really fight to get the individual integrations out. There are large telcos now which are offering great career billing solutions with the distribution, which are worth exploring. The two largest being Airtel and Vodafone. So if you're able to get integration done with them, then you're pretty much sorted on 80% of the reach, which you should really focus on. More importantly, you need to know how to play Facebook, because Facebook is the largest distribution channel. So unlike, again, China, where messaging apps are becoming app stores, and they're helping a lot of the game developers to distribute their apps, in India, you should know how to game Facebook. You should know how to promote your games well on Facebook, because that's something which will help you out a lot. To talk about in-app purchase ecosystem, right? So I think that's where the challenge in the Indian market has been. To put some perspective, India is just a $100 million market. We are smaller than Thailand. We are smaller than Vietnam as far in-app purchase and gaming is concerned. The reason being is that, and again, just to give you a number, there are only 30 million people in India who have credit card. So imagine a population of 1 billion, out of which around 250 million have a bank account, and only 30 million people having credit card. So that automatically translates into how many people are actually able to buy into your games, right? So that's the problem. The carriers, they're very old school, like they used to be in China. They still ask for 70% for themselves and 30% for you, which is not a good thing. Vodafone is trying to change that. They're saying, okay, we will pay you more, but again, they're really, really behind. But good part is there are some global companies now which are there, which are happy to give you a one-stop solution. So there are a couple of names like I mentioned here. So you can integrate with them, and your game will have in-app purchase available instantaneously with all carriers. So yeah, the biggest success story, Teen Patti from Octo. Again, this is the highest grossing app, doing 10 million downloads on Android and iOS. Completely monetized via in-app purchase. They're doing an estimated daily revenue of around $40,000. That's been going on. I think so that's a great app to look forward to. If any of the app developers are coming to India, we're more than happy to set up a meeting with the founding team out here. They're really helpful. They're happy to help other game developers also launch in India. Yeah, that's from me. If there is any question, I'm available. I'm happy to answer them offline. Thank you. Thanks very much.